Right back in your face. And one more time, this is the Besty and Smoke podcast, the BS podcast. I go by the name of Smoke, and I really love to welcome you and be appreciative of your long-standing support and always hanging with us every single time. All right. Quickly, we have a new thing on the Besty and Smoke podcast. It's a new series, Wounded Relationships. Okay, we intend to look at traumatized relationships where those in them are going through painful experiences, going through a lot of hurting, and we intend to inspect the reason behind such things happening in relationships and how the couples or those in those relationships can survive or turn things around, either save the relationship or save themselves ultimately. Okay, so wounded relationships, anticipate that. As a matter of fact, it's happening already. This is the very first episode of that series. And before we get to all of that good stuff, I would love to introduce to you my co-host, the B in the BS.
Who sometimes I feel like he forgets is here at the beginning of it, but I don't mind. Okay, as long as you're doing a good job, I am all for it. Now, I love the fact that we just rounded off the mini-series of, should I say mini-series of the mismatched libidos and stuff. And we are at this particular mini-series again that will unpack a lot
That's
of
right.
said
Unpack
things.
is the right word.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm anxious about it because I think it's going to expose a lot of what ifs.
Okay. I don't get that, but I'll pretend that I did.
We're talking about wounded relationships, okay, and how to come back from it.
That, yeah.
If you can actually come back from it, because some people don't recover. Some people recover, move on, actually makes them better.
That's right.
They learn to communicate better. They learn to speak their mind, and they learn to prioritize what they should prioritize, while some don't recover. So for people who don't recover, well, right, like you said, stay or save yourself. Might be for whatever reason. But so when I said unpack and also why I'm anxious about it, of the what ifs, because it's not something I have experienced. Talking about it will put you in the mindset of how would you react. And it's easier to say how you're going to react to how you're going to take it when you're now going through it.
Yeah, I think
So
I get what
you understand
saying,
that.
yeah.
So it's going to make it real, speaking about it. And being that we emphasize about being authentic, okay, we try to talk about how we're going to truly deal with it.
Situations like this, if they should occur.
So it's going to expose us, me personally, to understanding how you're going to view situations like which can really be something you wouldn't like to know. You rather have this idea in your head.
Ignorance is bliss.
Thank you so much. So you rather
not
know. So that's why I say the what ifs.
But knowledge is also power.
It is also power, but come on, sometimes it hurts. Knowing, and you rather leave as long as you can, knowing that you would want to know, but the period of you not knowing, you'd prefer that period of sanity.
We pretend to want to know, but we really do not want to know.
It's so easier to not know and live in the bliss than knowing and having to worry so about it, and be hurt about it. But all the same, I'm looking forward to it. Rip it up like the bandage.
Absolutely. And we're kicking things off today. Wounded Relationships. The very first episode of that is infidelity. Can a marriage recover? Can a marriage survive cheating? When a partner cheats on the other partner, when a spouse cheats on the other spouse, when a husband cheats on the wife or the wife cheats on the husband, can they mend things, or are they going to leave?
And of course, the key points we'll be looking at today are types and causes of infidelity,
the impact of infidelity in the marriage, solutions to infidelity in the marriage, and then the ultimate question of stay or leave when infidelity occurs in marriage? These are the things that we will be unpacking today.
So let's get into it.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
So we start with the causes and types. First of all, the types of infidelity and how they come about.
You have the types. You have the emotional. You have the physical. You have the digital, and
The financial.
the financial. The one that I saw, I was like, Smoke, can you explain? Because I'm not understanding. And when you explained it, I was like, I think most men will actually say that this is what their wives have been doing for the longest period. That's financial infidelity.
That's right.
I don't know why that is, but like we said, let's just start from the first one. Emotional infidelity.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Now, emotional infidelity is when you emotionally bond with someone other than your spouse, when you have that emotional connection, chemistry, things that are deep
Yeah.
with someone other than your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
This is
When you form a bestie connection
my
Wait.
bestie
with someone, and I've heard about that happening a lot.
in the modern time.
Yeah.
You know, this never used to be something we recognized as infidelity because it wasn't really something people noticed.
I think it happens more right now because we are a woke generation of
Yes.
people, and we want to westernize
Yes.
the way we live. So the boundaries of relationships have blurred and become flexible, right? And people don't put so much sanctity
Yeah.
on what should remain, I don't want to say holy, what should actually be respected, or, according that attitude to marriage as it should. So people tend to feel like it's one of those things. It's almost like an ordinary relationship.
I feel like people see marriage as, they no longer see marriage as once you're married, that's the only thing that happens for you. Your life is, everything you do revolves around your marriage. Like, people want to have life outside their marriage. And because it's no longer a gender, where you say a woman should have just girls as friends after marriage, or even a man should have just, your male folk as your friends, they no longer limit their friendship or their connection or getting to know someone, even though they are married.
We are in a generation that wants to eat their cake and have it.
Remember, we're talking about emotional infidelity, not physical infidelity.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying
most
to...
most of the time, it starts with emotional infidelity, especially for women.
Yes, that's actually the root of it sometimes. Most of the times, not all the time.
Emotional infidelity happens more with women than with men.
Because women
Men who want to cheat,
will
they
go out
and cheat. But women, they form this bond. First of all, it's either they find this handsome young man at work that's a bit flirty, or someone that makes them feel like a woman again, probably because, and this is where we talk about the causes of this emotional infidelity, makes them feel like, oh,
excites them.
I still
Got
have
it.
right? So I still am able to attract this kind of attention.
Okay.
Makes them feel fresh, makes them feel womanly.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Why are you rushing it?
You're pounding on it. You're pounding.
But that's the truth.
Okay, so
Now, it makes them feel this way, and it creates an environment, an atmosphere of temptation that's too deep and too strong for them to resist. Now, they tell themselves to justify that it's not serious. It's just a friendship. Can't I have friendships outside my marriage? So it goes on like that. And before you know it, she's comparing this young man
to
her husband. And the husband is probably
oblivious.
Of course, definitely will be. But the thing is, remember we talked about things that could strain the sexual bond even emotional bond in a relationship. So they are probably in that place where they are too familiar, right? And the husband is not forthcoming with emotional affirmation,
attention,
and
to
validation, and attention, and all of that. So she feels neglected
in that area
a bit. And she's getting this, and she's all for it. She opens her doors wide open for it, and she is hungry and thirsty for it.
Yes.
And before you know it, right? They could share an intimate moment. Nothing
sexual.
Yeah, but a very intense moment that becomes the point of no return.
Yeah.
They have to finish that experience.
I don't know where I heard this, but someone said that women have more vulnerability, and there's more tendency of a woman cheating on you and leaving you for the person she cheated on you with, because they're so
always emotionally
connected
to
the one they cheat with, that they don't just like away match like they would say men play, just still come back home and give the wife the utmost attention, and still act like nothing, like there's no side chick at somewhere. But once a woman starts cheating, you will definitely know, because she is trying to now keep herself for another man that is not the husband.
You irritate her now.
Yeah. So
when a woman is in that space, she gets irritated by the man. She begins to compare, like, okay, this guy gets me flowers. He gets me.
He comes to work. He compliments me. You're looking so fine today, and you think your husband saw you before you left, but did not say anything.
Didn't say anything. Now, this is quite different from how men cheat. A man can cheat with 1 million women and still value his wife. A man could cheat because a man is emotionally detached from infidelity.
Emotional cheaters. Is that what?
You know what I'm saying? So men are detached from the women they cheat with.
They can be
most of the time. Most of the time, there is nothing going on emotionally.
Just physical.
It's just that thirst, that hunger, that need for variety, and that's it, to handle the Coolidge effect.
The Coolidge effect.
That's it. But women are emotionally invested in their infidelity.
So as a woman, if you start having that, this stuff, all those, small,
just know that
it's just, it's innocent.
It's like
nothing.
You said, the road to damnation is paved with good intentions.
Yes, it is.
Good intention. He's a nice guy.
No, yeah, and men are vultures.
Yeah. And dude knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's playing his card. There was a guy who said that he's just by the side waiting for the main guy to F up.
Yeah, so he could step in and be the shoulder.
Savior, the hero, the Superman.
Yeah.
Because this
comforter.
girl comes to you. If you have an issue with your husband or with, your partner, you rush to go and tell this person.
Your bestie.
Your bestie. Emotional infidelity. That's it.
So emotional infidelity, when you develop a bond with someone who's not your spouse. Now, we've been talking about how this is something that happens mostly with women, but it can also happen with a man. A man can develop an emotional bond outside marriage, and it could also stem from emotional neglect at home, where men who are in touch with their feminine side.
I don't really think it's something about men who are not in touch with their feminine side. I think we are so fond of saying that men are not emotional beings, and men, they don't have feelings. A man who you don't check on, who you don't appreciate, who you don't value, if he starts getting it outside and in a closed space with a woman who intentionally or unintentionally.
I think we're dragging this out, right?
Yes, we are.
But just to pinpoint, there's one thing a man wants from his wife.
Don't say that.
Respect. Now, I don't know if you've heard where so many men even men who are not Nigerians. I don't know if you've seen stand-up comedians like Chris Rock, right? The one that got smacked in the face by Will Smith.
Yes.
Saying that men are not loved. The only people who are loved are women, children, and dogs. Men do not receive love.
Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally.
I think this is toxicity at its core. It is because yes, I'm saying this because it's doubling down on that belief that men have no feelings. Like men, they shouldn't feel their feelings. That's actually where that's coming from. And because of history or because of it being I think a tradition or something.
Look, I know it's a fashionable thing to talk about.
It's not a fashionable
the
thing.
Toxicity behind
it's not a fashionable thing.
The way men are.
Are you not human?
There are men who are emotional. Men don't feel emotions the same way women do.
That's what I'm saying. The emotion, see, what you need or what you want in terms of emotions might be different from the other person or the other man.
Okay.
But you still need something, you still want something. And it's still connected to your feelings.
Let's look at how men and women are different. Okay? Now, you dress up. Okay? You just had your hair done. Your nails, you feel like you are looking your best. And you step into the house. Or you're about to step out the house. And your husband doesn't notice that. You feel hurt. They're emotionally damaged, like William.
Emotional damage.
Give me some milk.
Oh, he needs some milk.
Emotional damage.
So you become emotionally damaged. A man will go shave his head. He's not looking for you to even notice. It's the last thing on his mind, right? A man dresses up to go to work or go out. He's not looking for any kind of validation about how handsome you're looking today or any of that.
Then can you paint a picture of what he wants?
What he wants from the wife, is to respect him.
Do you consider when you cater for your family, when you provide for your family, and I don't appreciate you for it? I don't disrespect you, but I just don't appreciate what you do. If I don't appreciate you, if I take you for granted, the sacrifices you make for the family, if I do not acknowledge that,
where are you going with this?
I'm going somewhere. Hold on. If I don't acknowledge that, you will feel underappreciated, and that will hurt your feelings. And your feelings are about your emotions. And we're still back to it might not be the same. It might not be the same want or the same need. But if you're with a woman who don't appreciate the things you do, and you go outside or maybe in your office or in anything, only for you to help someone with maybe just petty 5,000 naira, a woman, to deal with whatever issue she has, and she thanked you so much that men like you don't exist, blah, 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 blah. And there you are thinking, look at this woman you just did this for. While the woman you're at home, who you slave every day, working 9 to 5 for, don't even recognize all this.
Pontificate
you
about
are pontificating because you pontificate. You did pontificate when you were talking about women stuff.
What you're talking about, right, is human nature. Being appreciated for the good you've done. But women, when you get dressed up, when you do your hair, it is for nothing you've done.
I'm sorry.
A
man would say something.
You're looking for praise.
Some people would say that as a man is your responsibility.
Women's
as
vanity.
A man is your responsibility. You shouldn't be.
They are so vain. They want that vanity
for your praises to be sung
up.
for doing what you're supposed to do.
What?
People will say that. They say, man, it's your responsibility. So once you do what you are supposed to do, why should you expect praises? Why should you expect appreciation?
Look, you're comparing apples and oranges here.
They are all round.
Now, look, let me say this again. Okay. Now,
I really diving deep in this infidelity, emotional infidelity.
Now, if a man, right, supposing I go out and I buy you a watch, an expensive wristwatch, right?
Okay.
And you do not appreciate it.
Okay.
And I go out and I buy something else that's not even as expensive as the watch for someone else, for a woman outside, and she appreciates it. I don't think that's going to get me attached. I already know human nature. That's one thing.
Okay.
I already know that this is who you are.
Okay.
Just because a woman appreciated something that I did for her, it's not going to get me attracted to her. That's one thing.
Okay.
Unless there are other things already happening within the space.
Yeah.
Right? And this is like a small trigger connected to all of it. Now, if you buy me a watch and I do not appreciate it, and you buy something for a man and he appreciates it, you're going to be like, you see, this small thing that I got for this guy, and he appreciates it, but my husband doesn't. It's not going to...
Can I break the news for you?
Wait, it's not going to get you attracted to that man unless there are things going on already. Now, let's go back to emotional.
Can I say this before I forget?
Okay.
You know the way women are emotional beings. A woman would rather have the right person compliment her than thousands of people compliment
What's the
her.
point?
The point is, you comparing a woman buying a watch for a man and getting appreciated and still feel a certain way. If it's coming from the wrong person, she will not value it.
I was just trying to draw a parallel for you that appreciation for things do not necessarily push people into having a relationship outside marriage. But for women, when a man in your life is not giving you attention, is not giving you emotional validation, is not propping up your vanity, you go outside and you see a man who every day props up your vanity by, oh, you are so beautiful, you're looking so fine today. This could be the ugliest he-goat in the world. But with this happening all the time, you begin to warm to this man.
Keyword, all the time.
Yeah.
Happening all the time.
Yeah.
The same case with the man if it's happening all the time. I'm sorry, I cannot agree with you on this.
You don't have to agree with me.
It happens all the time, okay?
The thing
With you
is,
not
women
being
are emotionally vulnerable.
That's what I'm saying.
If you buy a car for a gate man 1,000,000 times and he bows down to you 1,000,000 times, you'd never want to get into a relationship with him. But if a gate man keeps telling you, oh ma, if there is that space for him to actually express that. Now I'm using a gate man, right, to show you the lowest level. I'm not trying to say that a gate man is low. Just hold on. Hold on.
Yes.
The lowest level where you might feel like you would never get attracted to this kind of man. Now, if the gate man should expose you to this kind of kindness, to this kind of emotional validation, you start thinking in your head, you want to dress up. You're looking forward to validation from this gate man.
And
it puts you in the place
and the
of
same
vulnerability.
case applies to when a man who has a house help or who has a help.
Yeah.
Okay, because the wife is not the one cooking the food and the house or the help is the one cooking the food, the one who's always around rather than the wife, cheats on the house help and actually makes the house help the wife. So it's still the same thing.
It's not.
It is the same thing. People still do stuff because they are undervalued and they find what they are lacking somewhere else.
You're hell-bent on trying to exonerate women.
I am not
and
exonerating
and you want to make it seem like that men are also vulnerable like that. Men are not vulnerable.
I never said men are vulnerable.
So what is the point of your argument?
I am actually saying that when a woman is an emotional being and she gets wooed by the simplest things like compliment, and I'm telling you, it must take for her to lack something to be open to that. One, and for a man too. A man can also fall for the same situation, but for a different reason.
If you don't know how to cook, and I meet a colleague at work who brings food to work and knows how to cook.
There was this thing that trended one time. What was that lady?
That was the lady.
Bring spoon. What's her name?
Bring spoon, and the wife started. And the wife. That was Mommy Z now.
Yes, they're cooking.
Mommy Z.
Thank you. That's actually it. Because of that cooking, this actually should send it home. It's not a movie.
Because of that cooking, was the man getting emotionally connected to the woman?
You don't
He was
get this.
not.
I'm saying he cannot be emotional with the woman. It's okay for him not to be emotional with the woman, but if he gets what he's lacking, If he gets what he feels like he's not getting enough, okay? Even that could make a man. It's not just about what he sees. He could, start feeling funny, feeling somehow, feeling attached.
It's not true.
And looking forward to even spending. That's where you now start saying that this person is my work wife.
It's not true.
This person is my work husband.
It's not true.
Dear Lord.
It's not true. Now, let me tell you the only situation, right, that will drive a man into infidelity with a woman that has done something for him, right, is when a woman gives a man peace of mind and he doesn't have peace of mind at home. That is the
beyond peace of mind. When you don't. There's one thing. I'm coming from.
Where are you coming from, please?
I'm trying to let you know that a man has feelings.
I was saying that women, right, are emotionally vulnerable. The men are not exactly that. And you are trying to convince me that it's about a toxic nature, the toxic nature of society that has made men to want to always put up the bold front out there. And I'm saying that it's not that. That men in our nature, we do not crave emotional validation. That I could step out the house.
What kind of validation do you crave?
The kind of validation we crave is about our ego. Once you massage a man's ego,
make him feel good, right?
Make me feel like a man.
What's feelings?
Wait.
Make you feel. It's still a feeling.
I told you.
I keep on telling you, it's not the emotional part. It's still feelings. Your feelings. Men feel feelings.
Look at the point of the argument: toxicity, patriarchy. Right?
No.
Toxic masculinity. No. So not take.
Don't go there.
No, not patriarchy. Toxic. It's called toxic masculinity. That's where your argument was coming from.
I'm exhausted.
Toxic masculinity says that men should be bold and strong and not cry and not be emotional. Be tough. And I'm telling you that it is not entirely that. Now, I'm not saying that toxic masculinity doesn't make men to be like that. Okay? But a man, if I'm stepping out the house and I'm dressed to kill, and you do not even see it, I don't care.
You're making it seem like women, they're all about the validation. And I'm telling you that men too, there are things about them, including the validation. That's where I started with the instances of you not being appreciated at home. Sorry. Appreciated at home.
You know, this episode was so structured.
Very structured.
To actually go a certain way. And we'll talk about emotional causes of infidelity, talk about financial causes of infidelity, talk about physical causes of infidelity and physical types, the sexual type of infidelity, and then the digital, the one that happens on social media when you texting and texting.
Where you have
but we have spent so much time on emotional infidelity that we're actually nearing the end.
Emotional damage
of the episode itself, and I am livid.
I'm sorry. I don't know why you've not lost it, but I can't let you go about with this. I always be like, okay, you know what, let this rain. But it's just it's me too inside.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
Let's find a way to tie this up neatly. Okay. I will have to come back for the other ones, because if this one type of infidelity and the cause could cause all of this. Now what about the other ones?
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing about this.
Like this was supposed to be a series of like 5 episodes. It's looking like it's going to be like 20 episodes.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
And it's crazy.
You know why I'm laughing, guys?
Why are you laughing?
Guys, because knowing him, it's taking him so much not to like bang his head on the wall. He's putting so much control, and it's just cracking me up.
If you're a Nigerian, I've been burning the generator for the past 3 hours. I'm not about to start this all over again. Nah. So I'm going to
say too much information.
This is too much information. I know, but we're going to post this, right? As awful as it is.
No.
And hopefully
it gets
you don't find it too.
It gets you to crack up. You know what this is? It's human.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes people don't know the effort or what we do behind the scenes before we put what we put out there. So this is one of those.
Because this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
Like just the beginning.
This
There's the editing part of this
Yeah.
and trying to
You
put
know,
it all
did you
together.
remember-
And I keep thinking about.
Do you remember that episode that we had to like you had to Bestie, this is it. Like we're starting from the beginning. Like I can't. What are we even arguing? Why? It's like you're making like I wanted to argue. And the thing about our conversation,
And that's exactly how I still feel about this, because I do not understand why we were arguing.
And that was like you at a point you were like, what are we even talking about? So, but this one did not come because I wanted to argue.
So to wrap this up, right? Emotional
Infidelity.
That's a type of infidelity. Now, why does that happen? We've been talking about this already. Emotional infidelity occurs when someone who is married lacks validation in the relationship. There is something lacking in the emotional department in that marriage, and they have found someone outside who is filling the gap.
Yes.
And if it's someone who craves emotional connections, craves emotional validation, someone who craves all of that atmosphere, being present for them to feel loved, then they will definitely stray and fall into temptation if they encounter that validation and that atmosphere outside the marriage.
Yes.
This is something you have to look out for if you are an emotional person and you are in a situation where you feel like you're not getting the right emotional environment. You have to watch it, because that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I'm sorry to take us back, but I do remember a few episodes ago we were talking about love language or love languages, and you were of the opinion that it kind of made love seem mathematical, like something out of a textbook rather than what you actually feel. And I was explaining to you that love is more than you feeling it. It's also about you making the person who you love feel loved. And this thing you said right now about if you are someone who wants that atmosphere of emotional validation with your partner to feel loved, to feel like they care for you, because a man or a woman could love you, they would bleed for you. But if they don't do that which you want from them or do for you to feel loved or to feel appreciated, you might recognize what they do from their own end as what, as loving you, but you will not feel that tingly, warm, mushy, ness that happens when someone you love does something that gets your love language.
I think all of these misconnections and misconceptions and intersections, they come because we got intertwined with Western ideas. You
are
when I was
the reason.
when I was growing up, right, my dad never validated my mom emotionally,
and
all he had to do was take care of all of us.
And the thing is that something has always been our tradition, been our way of life. That doesn't make it right.
We got exposed to a different thing, and we now look at the way we express affection as being inferior.
It's not inferior. Was the affection even expressed? It was more of responsibility. My responsibility to you is this, to provide for you, and that's all. Beyond that, I owe you nothing. But that shouldn't be the case. Sorry. Does this hurt you?
It does not.
Did it make you feel any kind of way?
I'm just going backwards to when I was growing up.
That's the thing.
And
when you were growing up, there was no technology.
You know what? That exposed people to other ideas and other cultures and other traditions, right? And we were content.
Yes, contentment is the key word. You were content.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
So this is where we are bringing, I feel weird saying this, but this is where we are bringing it to an end today.
It was disastrous.
I hope this is good for you. But I'm not going to go back to redo it. Okay?
Yeah.
So just manage her like that.
I swear,
On the next one,
we will do better.
we're going to do better. Yeah, this is the 22nd episode, and we got messed up like this.
But this is comfort, man. This is comforting. It shows we can still let it all hang loose. And we just literally did it with arguments.
Yeah. So we're going to be here again
On the next one.
Till then,
Ciao.
this is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.